Sit down.
What do you mean funny? Funny how? How am I funny?
Let's bring in the laugh meter and see how loud it gets on that one. You know.
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore!
Well, here we are again. Two angry women, barely speaking to each other. Not true, actually, now, but this morning, yeah, for sure.
I don't even know. I think I should just, I don't know if there are words. No, I don't want to start every show angry. God, far be it from me to be an angry person.
Well, then why do you?
Because you make me so you just, I can't. I'm not, I can't. The words aren't coming out. No, just you. And the person who took my parking space. And if you're that person, how
the
dare
person
you?
who cut you off in traffic on the way back.
Oh, well, the people on the
And your
roads,
dog who got sick that you
dog
got mad at.
threw up the second I walked in the office. That's irritating. I wasn't angry with her. I was just angry at the situation. Someone had taken my parking space. I had a horrible drive back from Boston Common to the office, cut off by idiots. Man in front of me from Georgia, reading a map from Georgia. I'm beep, 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 beep. He's going 1 mile an hour.
You're not supposed to beep. Don't beep. I hate to say it, but the subject of our show, we're the Boomer Broads. I'm Anne Marie. She's the angry Janet. The subject of our show is, why is everybody so angry all the time? What is going on?
Why do I have such a short fuse? Why does America have such a short fuse?
Why does this whole list of things go on?
You start with the obvious. You start with Congress, because that's just happened. They, the infamous, why can't we all just get along? I mean, my Lord. Just angry to be angry. Just saying no to say no.
And they don't care what happens. The consequences be damned. I, honestly, if I'm angry at anybody, I am so angry at the Republicans and the Tea Party, so angry that I can barely verbalize it, that they would bring us to the brink for what? For what? That they would cut off benefits to the people in this country who need it the most. You can be as angry and pissed off as you want at the president, but this is not about him. At least he's trying to help people. Well, it became about him.
Right. They want
so angry about it.
And I keep thinking, didn't we kill like Osama just a few months ago? Wasn't his approval rating in the 60s? And then 2 months later,
you go out and vote because the bad guys, the angry bad guys, are going to cut off our benefits. You go out there and vote.
Yeah, they don't like a lot. They don't like social service. It's hard. It's hard because they don't like taxes, and most of America doesn't like taxes.
Who does?
But we have to
taxes?
recognize, obviously, that our services are a result of taxes, or we would not have Social Security, and we would not have, and maybe you don't agree with welfare or Medicaid,
and people would be
there's a
starving
need
on the
for them.
streets. Yes.
It is a very difficult, and then the Republicans are upset because he's cutting defense spending. So one side, there's that to everything. You feel bad about that.
They don't want to plug loopholes for rich people. Why? They're rich. They have money. They just won't have quite as much money. We're sorry.
I totally
so it won't
agree
be
with
multiple
the taxing
billions.
the rich thing. I really agree with taxing the rich. I really agree with that whole
concept. And that's a big statement.
Because you've got. But I think the problem is defining rich. That's what's happened here. When you define rich as a household making $250,000, a lot of people laugh because in this day and age, that's not that rich. Fine. Certainly, that's not poor.
All right, then come back and say make it $500,000.
Right. Make it $1 million. Everybody has $1 million. Come on, let's tax them a little more. What's the big deal? Come on, people.
Anyway,
it's just
go and vote.
Okay.
All right, go down your
list. So then we
make it not about politics.
Before Congress, obviously, we had we still have a little bit of it, but we have the sports issues. We have the football owners versus the football players.
Mad at each other.
Or
not enough money here, not enough money there.
Right, rich versus the rich.
Right.
Right, rich versus the rich. Now we have basketball, so now we have the NBA. The sports world itself breeds an unusual amount of
because people used to call you when you were on the air and they would scream at you.
Horrible.
Because you didn't know who was on third base in the 1949 World Series.
It was really bad. It was really bad. And they used to send me horrible notes. They used to call me names.
But you still, honestly, have sporting events where people get beaten up afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
Because they lifted an eyebrow the wrong way.
I think sports brings out the worst in people, period. And I read an extremely interesting article. Yeah, as you know, they just had the riots in Vancouver for hockey and the riots in Buenos Aires for soccer, because both teams lost. In the United States, we riot when we win. When we lose, we kind of tuck our tail between our legs and we go quietly into a depression. Just ask any Boston Red Sox fan after any major Yankees event. But in Europe, it's the opposite. It's a different mentality. That there was claim in the article that because there are so many teams in America, you can kind of compartmentalize it. Okay, well, your basketball team lost, but you still have baseball, football, and hockey.
We do that here,
but
for sure.
soccer is like the life of Argentina. Hockey is the life of Vancouver, Canada. So when that loses, it's like life and death. And for us, it's like, but when we win, we can't control ourselves. We're gloaters. We're not gracious winners. We're gracious losers. It just was an interesting.
I'm gracious.
You're non-caring. You're not great.
It's not that I don't care. I care, but I don't care that much.
Oh, you've been asleep through every victory and every loss. That's okay.
Tell me what happens in the morning.
But the other besides sports, I think the other angry part of this world. There's two other things we want to talk about. One is, I think, the world, and I don't want to blame anything or anybody, but the world of Twitter and the world of social media. I think being anonymous these days allows you to be just a disgusting person. Nobody would say the things they say to your face.
Let me ask you
what they say on Twitter.
I mean, you've made that point, and I think that's actually a very interesting point. But is it a good thing? In other words, do you think it diffuses like this maniac who killed kids in Norway? Who felt he had a right to save the world. He was so angry at the way things were going.
But he was sick.
Yes, he's sick. Yeah. But I'm saying, do you think it diffuses some of the anger?
No, I think it builds it.
You do?
I do. I think it fuels it.
Really?
I really do.
Because in some cases you would think that this is an outlet, so at least they can get rid of it. They can.
I don't think it gets rid of it.
Let some off some steam.
I don't feel it in the country. I feel just anger in the country. If in fact Twitter and Facebook was diffusing our anger, we would not be so darn angry. We'd be a lot happier because there's a lot of ugliness online. I mean, you read an article on Boston.com and the comments there are mind-boggling what people say. They would never say that to the person.
I don't read comments online. I don't tweet, and I don't watch sports stuff. So retain all the anger for myself.
And who gets it? Bingo! And then the other angry faction of this world, of course, I think, are the Republican commentators. Yes. Sorry, again, the conservative commentators, I should say, the Bill O'Reillys,
who are really Limbaughs,
the Glenn Becks, who again, and on the other side, Keith Olbermann has some vitriol too.
And Nancy Grace.
Well, Nancy Grace is just a kook. Well, she's a kook.
Somewhere out there, the devil is dancing tonight.
But we just cross her off as
I don't know if we could. I shouldn't. That's not fair. But I don't see her as the same as those other, because she's more. I laugh at her.
Oh,
I don't find these other guys very funny.
No, I don't either.
I find them really disturbing.
And what about people
she's like a caricature?
What about like Roseanne Barr?
Roseanne Barr's an angry woman. And
she's proud of it.
Using Twitter has allowed her to show her anger. Without that outlet, I guess that's why she was married so many times, because she was kicking people in the you-know-what, her husband's in the you-know-whats, and getting rid of them, because she now can, I believe that Joy Behar mentioned that Roseanne tweeted for 14 hours straight following the Casey Anthony decision. That's anger. Just anger for 14 hours on Twitter.
That's a lot of anger.
That's a lot of anger.
I'm surprised she hasn't done something more
combusted. Well, maybe maybe to your point, it does diffuse some of it because it allows you somewhere to put it.
Not that she would, but those kinds of people are they not the ones that go out and do horrible things to people?
And some of our fans, who you posted this on Facebook yesterday to ask what is going on, said back, and this is going to sound old, but back in the day, they were just simpler times. There was not, you just didn't
Was it that there wasn't so much to be angry about?
There wasn't that much to be angry about.
Really?
Yes.
And why?
And you weren't privy to it all. You had one television set. That was all you knew.
And you didn't know much more beyond your little block.
That's right.
And street that you lived on.
Chet Huntley and David Brinkley told you what you needed to know. And that was it. For a half an hour a night, you found out the news. Now you find out the news all day long. And half
it's
of it is
mostly angry.
irritating.
And it's
yes,
mostly
exactly. And it's bad news and angry news. And back in the day, you just didn't have that. So I think we were not that angry.
That's a very good point.
I know.
I
Thank
wonder
you.
what our fans think.
We're going to find out once we post this thing if we get it up
Get
right
through
this
it.
week. We're going to get it right this week. We've had a bit of a couple of technical
Our
snafus these last
producer,
few
our little
weeks.
Irish golden
She's
girl. Kate.
trying. She
Yeah.
got her software fixed, I'm sure.
Good girl.
Yep, see.
How we doing on time, Kate?
We're there.
We're out good.
Okay, good.
Great.
But
But we have a couple of other quick things.
Yeah, we
Well,
want
we're
to
not
end
gonna
with
do
something
this.
good.
Yeah, no, we are going to end with something good.
Yeah.
I still love you, Mr. O.B.
You an Obama mama.
I love him. I love him.
Obama mama.
B.O., I should say. I'm sorry. I reversed it. But we got an interesting email today. Something that might help you with your anger. From our beloved yoga guru.
Yogi.
Yogi guru. Is he yogi or
He's
he's
a
a
yogi.
yogi?
He's a yogi.
I'm sorry, I don't do yoga, so I don't really know. Although he's helping me a little bit with my stretching. This is, dear Anne Marie, the inspiration of this news came from a client. Stop being so happy.
The client said to
The
him.
client, right. Stop being so... This is
I
Ben.
know, he's very peaceful.
We need to mention Underground Studios in the Boston area. Ben McClellan, we love you. He's a doll.
I shouldn't spoil him, but he's really very good. And if you are in the Boston area and you do want to take up yoga or continue your yoga practice, go to Underground Studios in Watertown, Massachusetts. Look what he's done for me. The peace of mind,
Alone.
the girlish figure.
But what did you say? You said after I told you about this, you're going to take up meditation.
Yes, I
He
think
does-
I need to
He
meditate.
does talk about...
He
'cause
meditates every day.
I know. He told me he meditates before I even get in, and I get in at 5:30. And I'm like,
I
whoa,
wonder if you have
that's
anything to
great.
do with that.
Before I come. That's a good point. I hadn't thought of that.
Yeah, and he maybe meditates after after me and before you.
But he's great, and it does, he said, he's a perpetually even-keeled and very happy person.
He's just a happy
Contented,
person.
he says.
I don't
This
get
is
it.
about being contented.
Yeah. Isn't that great, though? Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I do admire him. I
Really.
really do. And there aren't a lot of people out there who are like that. But if you actually, and we all know this is true, if you stepped out of yourself and stepped out of your anger, which I do try to do despite what you think,
No, you do.
and,
I think you do.
evaluate where I am in my life, in this world, could I be more blessed?
I know.
No.
No.
And it puts you right back where you should be,
Well,
recognizing your
Our
blessings.
staff today, we're talking about J.C. Dugar. And we're like, you know, what do
If
we
that-
have to be unhappy about? What do we have to be
If
unhappy
she
about?
could have stayed
And she
together
is.
and
And
as
she
happy
is.
as a clam, and till this day, I know I've said it before, says she would do it again.
She wouldn't
She would
change
do
it.
it.
I
She
know.
wouldn't change a thing.
Unbelievable.
Oh God, really, people. So Janet, Anne Marie, stop being
Here's
so
a
angry.
woman who should be
Anne
very happy right now.
Anne Marie.
Talk about happy.
Perfect.
So we are Broad of the Week. In fact, for me, the Broad of the Year is Helen Mirren, who won Body of the Year. Body of the Year. I forget which publication it
Oh, who
was. Was
knows
it
what it was.
GQ or... Oh, LA's Fitness Poll.
LA Fitness.
LA Fitness, Body of the Year. She's number one by a big percentage.
Yeah.
66 years old.
Who's
You
who's
go,
number two?
girl! Number two is Elle McPherson.
Strange.
And then, you know, the everybody you'd expect.
Pippa Middleton.
Pippa Middleton is down on number 8, but she's a skinny little broad, and I just think what we
But
need is that...
interesting that people
big-
like Jennifer Aniston didn't get on
I
that
know.
list because she has a great little body.
But
Now,
look
who the
at
hell is
her.
Mylene Class?
Don't know her. Don't know her. But look at this body. What we need to see is that...
That
that
bathing suit
bathing
photo.
suit
We'll
photo.
find that. We'll post
put that
Kate will
up.
find that.
And we say hats off to you. Oh, it's just a number, ladies. Just a number.
And on
Don't
that
fall
note,
for it. You have a good week. And stay happy. At least stay contented. Or at least meditate, please.
and don't piss me off, whatever you do.